Ooh, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, family. I hope everybody's having a great day. This video is about to go a little fast, so I hope everybody can keep up. Anyways, let me start by saying I am Michael Leve, in proprio persona, sui juris, in proprio heredes, in proprio generis, in capitis diminutio minima at all points and times. Moors are the Aboriginal and Indigenous Native Americans of North America, being the corporate United States of Mexico, as well as Canada. We are the Aboriginal people of the North American continent. Say it with me. Continent. North American continent. So, I just came from court, and I want to share with everyone how that proceeding went, to let everybody know, we aren't helpless. We have choices. Life is full of choices. Life is full of many choices, you guys. Quick shout out to Black T Blog or the T Print and Sloan for their coverage. So, as many of you know, I do not subscribe to the commercial admiralty jurisdiction of the foreign United States corporate embassy located in the District of Columbia of North America. I was unlawfully detained and arrested due to idiot policy enforcers working in Jefferson Parish in Louisiana. Now, I've spoken with the Federal Transit Administration, and I've spoken with the Director of Transit, Nanette. I'm not sure what her last name is. I never got it. And I will be speaking with her tomorrow. So, many of us are wondering about the lives of Native Americans. Well, most Aboriginal, Indigenous, Native Americans have been in the Americas since time immemorial, since Pangea, since before the Atlantic Ocean was created. And really what's going on is we are decolonizing, we are moving out of the commercial jurisdiction of the United States as it stands. And before I begin, I just really want to make this known. You have no obligation to perform for these extortionist, broke-ass motherfucking pilgrims that are still on our land using the de facto commercial law, or it's not really law, it's policy, the Uniform Commercial Codes. They are codes. They are holding us to unlawful statutes and codes that stem from the Uniform Commercial Codes, which the United States has to adhere to. And anyone who chooses to work for the United States. So, for example, if you go outside of your domicile and you go into a convenience store, a gas station, a Dollar General, a Family Dollar, the cashiers, the supervisor should be a Uniform Commercial Code. They should have their tags displayed with their names on there so that when we patronize these businesses, we know who we're dealing with. And anyone who is not in commercial code is out of alliance and out of uniform. And you don't have to adhere to any of their obligations because they're not performing their duties in an honorable fashion. And I make these videos so that way people can know that Michael Leve is going to remain honorable, and Michael Leve is going to remain in the principles that create and make up universal law, sovereign law, and any other laws that come from those laws. So, as I stated, this video is going to go a little bit fast. So, anyways, I went to court today. This pilgrim district attorney shows up wants to speak with me. I've been sitting inside the courtroom for about 30 minutes, and it was packed in there today. A lot of people who don't know the law, a lot of these illegal aliens who are now in the jurisdiction, the admiralty jurisdiction of the United States. And I cannot disclose the names of the corporate agents that I'm working with due to the fact that I appreciate them honoring my status. Not to say that they did it willingly. Sometimes you have to put a little fucking force on these hoes to make sure that they do the right thing. Like, what did Nicki Minaj say? Had the judge change her mind in the judge's chambers, please? Yes, because my status as a North American Aborigine will not be encroached upon. So, here's the beginning of the video. When we were born, most of us, if you were born after 1933, if you were born in a hospital, the doctor presented your mother with a birth certificate. That birth certificate went to a Federal Reserve Bank. And then after it went to a Federal Reserve Bank, it went to the Social Security Administration in D.C. And upon it going to D.C., the Social Security Administration created an all-caps name in place of the name that was given to you at birth. So your name in all caps may be your name, it might be your title, but you were not given any consent that this changing of your title of nobility from sovereign status to commercial status was taking place. And your mother was not given that consent either. And this video can go for pilgrims as well, because they're in the same situation as us. But the difference is that we are the natural and divine heirs. That's what separates us. So upon turning 18, the age of majority in some jurisdictions, really it's 21, your parents pass off that information to you and you start using it to do business within the so-called geographical jurisdiction of the United States. But what they didn't tell us was that this all caps name is controlled by the state in which you were born. And when you decide to use that name to go out and get a license, to go out and get a vehicle put in your name, in that all capital name, that gives the state partial ownership of whatever assets you have. So this is why repossessions happen. But anyways, like I said, I'm not going to get off topic. The district attorney is a pilgrim. Basically, June 1st, I met with him. July 20th, 50 days later, we were supposed to have a trial. I get to the court, this melanated guy is standing in, and he's like, oh, this and that, da-da-da-da. I'm not ready for trial because I need witnesses and this and that. One, you don't have any witnesses. Two, the police cannot act as witnesses in a crime. Let that be known. The police cannot act, and if they do, it is an abrogation of their oaths of office because they are in official capacity and they're trying to adjudicate upon you in your all caps and lower caps capacities. They have to pick. They can't choose both. So today I get there, and who shows up? The pilgrim shows up. And he's like, oh, I was out with COVID. And I'm like, okay, well, nobody let me know that you were sick. I wasn't sick. I had COVID. If you had COVID, bitch, you were sick. Stop fucking playing with me. So he got the attitude and all mad. Be mad, bitch. We're going to trial. Oh, because I was going to offer you. You can't offer me a damn thing with your broke, dusty ass. Go your ass back to Europe and offer them Europeans whatever the fuck you was trying to offer me and watch them laugh in your face, you broke ass bitch. So, with that being said, I proceed to step back into the courtroom. The judge calls for a recess. She tells me, you can sit your belongings in the jury box. So I took that as a message or subliminal message from her that she did not want me to leave. She wants this trial to happen. She wants to know what Micah L. LeVay has to say and how competent Micah L. LeVay is and well versed in the law. So with that being stated, I take this recess. I go and I walk around. I'm wearing my fez. I'm showing my face to the people. People are asking me questions. They want to know about how they can reclaim back with their tribal affiliations and get their Aboriginal identities back. Blah, say blah. Anyways, I go back to court. I always get called last. I always get called last because these judges, these actors, these foreign administrators know that I know the law when I step into their courtrooms. So I always get called last. So today I was at court from 10:30 this morning to 1:30 this afternoon. And I was the very last one before. She cut the Zoom monitor off. So when she cut that Zoom monitor off, that was her symbol to me that this case was not going any further to the state level. Why? Because they know that what they're doing is fraudulent. They know that I know what the fuck they're doing is fraudulent. And they know that I'm not going to allow them to escheat my Federal Reserve account nor my estate. So the judge tells me I can come around to over the wall and approach the bench, and so I do so. And she asks for opening statements. I pronounce myself as Michael Leve improprio personam sui juris improprio aretis in capitis diminutio minima. No United States judge, Solicitor General, District Attorney, anyone has jurisdiction over Aboriginal and Indigenous and Moorish American nationals. We are outside of their admiralty jurisdiction. And the only way that they can extort money from you is by operating in that admiralty jurisdiction. You see this? This is a constant reminder of who the fuck I am and the blood that pumps through my motherfucking veins. It's royal blood. Period, poo. Which brings me to another topic altogether. These pilgrims don't give a fuck about us until it's time for a motherfucking organ transplant or a blood transfusion. That's the only time they give a fuck, is when they need a motherfucking organ from us. So anyways, I sit down, introduce myself, and I let them know that I'm operating in accordance with the United Nations Declarations on the Rights of Indigenous People. Here goes the prosecutor. Here goes the district attorney. He starts mumbling about, he's called the deputy several times. He's texted the deputy. The deputy hasn't responded back. You want to know why? That deputy's not going to show his motherfucking dishonorable ass in that court when he knows there's an honorable Moorish American willing to fucking defend his title of motherfucking nobility. So these motherfucking funky ass police officers, these millennial ass officers who don't know a thing about commercial law or the UCC, they're just there to help these judges earn extortion money. That's it. Excuse me. This tea though. So he says, I apologize for wasting your time, Judge. I apologize for wasting Mr. LeVay's time. And he just basically let me know that the charges were going to be dropped. Which is, of course, because if I had been allowed to proceed with trial, this is how the trial would have went. District Attorney, please state your name and nationality for the record. U.S. citizenship is not a nationality. Do you see that circle that's up above the judge? Can you tell me what that states? What it reads? It reads State of Louisiana. Are you aware that I'm a non-resident alien? Are you aware that the State of Louisiana is a corporation that was admitted into the Union by way of federal jurisdiction? Are you aware of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship? Are you aware of the Treaty of Camp Holmes of 1835 between the Washita Aboriginal Native Americans and the United States? No? Well, you should be. Because what you're doing right now is you're actively engaging in fraud. Commercial fraud. And that means I can have your fucking ass on a stick. for trying to adjudicate on a case and my estate to which you know you cannot adjudicate upon because I'm outside of your admiralty jurisdiction and I'm standing on the land in proprio personam sui juris at all points and motherfucking times. But I didn't do any of that. I was civil, although I shouldn't be. I was civil, and I communicated with this district attorney to let them know I don't have anything personal against you. I know you're just trying to make $1. But at the end of the day, I don't knock a hustle, but I will not be hustle. Period, bitch. And I can have your motherfucking license revoked, you dumbass idiot. So that's the problem that many of us are facing here in North America. We're facing extortionists, racketeering, admiralty, jurisdiction, actors who are doing nothing more than extorting people for fiat because they're broke as fuck. And see, I could be a brat if I really wanted to be, but I'm choosing not to because I'm doing this for my family, for my family's honor. I'm doing this for my community's honor. Because this whole grand orchestrated scheme will end with the millennial generation. It will end with Generation Z. You pilgrims and your dishonorability is being called out all the way to DC. Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, cackling ass motherfucking Harris. This is for you. Your dishonorability will not be tolerated in North America any longer. Which brings me back to my next point. I really thank the United Nations for all that they're doing to try to bring about economic world peace and prosperity. And I also thank Empress Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter III and her husband, Emperor Jay-Z, for all that they do. Because I know, as someone who comes from a family that's in the entertainment industry, how hard it can be dealing with ignorant people in our communities. People that we share the same bloodlines with. But this stuff has to come out. We're in the age of Aquarius. There are no secrets. So that's why I make these videos. But yeah, he just basically let me know that he apologized to me for wasting my time for the 4th fucking time. And I accepted his apology. But to keep them from out of fraud, I did let them know that I did have these declarations in my personal files because I'm the chief executive officer of my estate. There's no incompetent minors here, bitch. I'm fully competent, visually impaired, and I'm motherfucking rocking and rolling. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Long live le Washington Americano Empire. And with that, I'm signing out.